And so quadratic regression it's a useful thing potentially, depending on whether you're exposed to data that kind of fits the pattern. And there's a couple things that I wanted to go through. Your calculators are pretty powerful in that they really only need a few points in order to predict the curves. So if you look at, if you have your book, you can look on page 310. Okay, and the set of data, let's say they give you 3 data points. And so this is problem number 29 from page 310. If you are looking at 3 data points, you can perform, and you know that they fit the path of a parabola, and you can predict the equation for this set of information. And the way that you do that, it's very similar to what we did in the linear regression. Okay? We're going to go to the data matrix editor. Okay, so if you go to your application and you choose data matrix editor, and you should have used it at some point, so we should have some information in there. Go to current. If you don't have a current one, you might have to create a new name. Again, don't just give it, you can give it gibberish name. You're not going to specifically use it for anything or need to save it. Okay, but just give it a name. And then once you're in there, you may have to clear everything that's already there. To clear everything, hit F1, the Tools tab, and then choose 8, and then confirm it, and it'll clear all the data that was stored there. And so now what we can do is we can enter the information. Remember, all the x's go in one column, all the y's go in the other column. So if we enter the x's first, so 1, 3, and 6 are the x coordinates for these 3 points, and then the corresponding y values are 2, 4, and -8. Okay. Once you enter your data, we're then going to go to the Calculate tab. Okay. And we've done this before, except the last time we did it, we used linear regression. This time, though, we're using quadratic regression. So when you go to display the calculation type, it doesn't even show quadratic regression on here because it's number 9. It's the next one down this list. So you can either just hit number 9 every time, which is the easier way to do it, or you can scroll down. But you want to choose number 9, which is quadratic regression. Okay. Once you do that, you're then going to do the same things that we did with the linear regression. We're going to enter C1 for our x coordinate. We're going to enter C2 for our y coordinate. Okay, so it's already set for the alpha mode, so you might have to turn it off after you hit your first letter. You'll then have to turn it back on to write C2 in the second field. Okay, and then again, should you store it, I would suggest that you store it to the Y editor, just so you have access to it. And I'll show you again that can be useful. Once you hit enter, it gives you your coefficients A, B, and C for the quadratic form. And so you can write your equation. Y equals, here we see our A value is -1, so it's -x squared. Our B value was 5, so plus 5x. And our C value is -2, -2. And so here is the information for the quadratic equation that fits this pattern of information. And how accurate is it? You guys remember going back to linear regression? The correlation is 1. That means it's exact. So this is the exact equation for this. Remember, the closer it is to 1 or -1 tells you it's a positive correlation or a negative correlation. So this one is exact.